who is the founder of a very successful initiative here in New York, Bengalis of New York. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you today?
Good. Thank you for having me.
So, you have been doing a lot of work with the community, but so far we haven't heard much from you. How did you start it? What is your journey? Tell us about yourself.
I started an organization called Bengalis of New York about 6 years ago. I started as actually a documentary. A friend of mine went around interviewing Bengali street cart vendors, the halal cart vendors, and just had like 20 hours of footage speaking with them and made a documentary out of it. And we decided to just put it on social media, and it's kind of just snowballed into a bunch of other things. And now we have social media, we have a website, we have podcast, as well as this really large film festival that we host every summer. It's called the Bengali Film Festival. So, and also we now have BONY Scholars, which is a nonprofit to help Bengali high school students obtain mentorship and guidance.
Awesome. And during your journey, did you find a lot of the, Bengali people to help you in your life, or you wanted to create a platform like that?
So I grew up in a building that's predominantly Bangladeshi. So obviously I've had a lot of Bangladeshis in my life that have helped me. But in media, there really wasn't a lot of representation of Bangladeshis. So it's one of the reasons why I started Bengalis in New York, and that's why we created the documentary, etc.
How do you think the Bengalis of New York is helping, reaching out to the community, even marginalized people in the community?
Like I said, representation is super important. Now, we highlight stories of successful Bangladeshis in different industries. Mm-hmm. So a young Bangladeshi person can see that and say, okay, there's someone like me that's Bangladeshi in finance or in medical or that's an artist or successful business people, and they can see themselves in that person. So that's super important. In my time when I was young, I didn't see too many Bangladeshis, being highlighted or being talked about. So, like I said, representation is super important.
So it's a lot like bring a mentor and have some like successful Bangladeshis who are doing well and to tell their stories, correct?
Yeah, that's how the platform was founded. We were just highlighting people that were just doing amazing things.
That is awesome. Recently, you have started a new initiative called BONY Scholars. Tell us about, what is your vision for this? It's a non-profit organization, correct?
So it's a registered 501c3, and it's called BONY Scholars, and we're targeting high school students. And the reason I wanted to target high school students is because I feel like there's already organizations that target college minorities and the children that are in under highlighted communities. I wanted to target high school students because I felt like there was a lot of decisions that you have to make during high school that can change your life, and that's super important. And I think Bangladeshi kids, from my perspective, need that help early. And I think sometimes college is too late. And so we want to offer mentorship, guidance, some monetary help with college applications, SAT prep, things like that. So that's super important. So we want to assist Bangladeshi kids as early as possible.
Also, since we are in America, how did you thought about only helping Bangladeshi students?
So I want to be clear. The BONY Scholars will be open to everyone. My goal, just because of my background, I'd like to help Bangladeshi kids as much as possible. But the platform will be open to everyone. So we'll accept applications from everyone. But I just felt like there's really no organization that's targeting or specifically their goal is to help Bangladeshis. And that's why we started it. But we will be open to everyone.
Amazing. And when you talk about the high school student, will there be a scope for them to work for the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals? For example, zero hunger and no poverty. Also, let's say climate change.
I mean, those are all really important topics for Bangladeshis and the diaspora. So I would imagine anyone in that diaspora would be passionate about those topics for sure. I mean, climate change is a huge issue for Bangladeshis. Bangladesh is one of the most susceptible to that issue. So certainly, I'm sure people will be interested in those topics. And the UN goals related to providing education for all. It's super important for me, super important for Bangladeshis as well, I'm sure. So for sure, I would think Bangladeshi kids that I know are very passionate about just giving back and working on important issues. So I definitely think they would be.
Originally said you were born in, you're originally from Borishal, Bangladesh. So there is a lot of, when you talk about climate change, there is banks, a lot of the places, and it's like the city of rivers, right? So do you have any first-hand experience that, dealing with that kind of emergency when it comes to sea level rise?
Wow, it's really interesting that you say that, but they actually call Borishal the Venice of South Asia because there's so many rivers. And I remember as a child just swimming everywhere in Borishal and having a blast. And I actually was in a flood when I was a child in Bangladesh in Dhaka. It was a massive flood of '89, and we went everywhere. It was the city of Dhaka. I mean, we went everywhere in boats, which was fascinating. But as a child, I was 6 years old, and we had a blast. We thought it was amazing. Like, let's do this every day. And not, but so I have experienced that. So it's something that I keep, and obviously it's very that's why Bangladesh is very close to my heart. So that's why I'm saying climate change and those issues are very 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 important to me, and obviously most Bangladeshis as well.
Yeah, that is the reason actually, I was first interested to talk about climate change and to, learn more about it because I'm originally from Bangladesh. And I'm sure BONY Scholars, they will be able to, connect with the goal of the United Nations and work in the future. It will be amazing. So, also I wanted to ask you a few initiatives you did, for Bengalis of New York. For example, the film festival that happened recently. Tell us more about it.
Sure. So we started. BONY started as we created a documentary to highlight Bengali street vendors. So we went around interviewing the halal cart vendors, and that turned into a documentary. So we started a film festival 3 years ago to show that documentary. Now we show films from all over the world made by Bangladeshis, Bengalis, sorry, and also directed by Bengalis or actors are Bengalis. And so now it's this massive festival every year. It's doubled the size every year. This year we just held our festival at the Angelica, which is a famous theater in New York, and we had over 400 attendees. We had to turn away a lot of people as well, and we had over 30 films submitted, and we showed 8. So it just shows you the talent of Bangladeshis all over the world submitting all of these amazing films. We had to turn away some really good films. We had some famous filmmakers also attend. Some Oscar-nominated films that we showed for the first time, and we had media from a lot of big media outlets attend also, and for a lot of the non-Bangladeshis, they actually loved it. They wouldn't have known that there were Bangladeshis making these amazing films. So that was really proud, and you had an amazing team. Again, we have an amazing team at Bengalis of New York to host this, and probably double the size next year as well. So super excited.
Oh, we'd like to, check it out. And so these films are all new that happened for a year, right? And then they were like, they could be, does it have to be big film or just it could be like independent or, somebody just have their own camera and shoot it? How is it?
It's a really good question. So because we have a short time at the venue, we only show shorts, so short films. And the way festivals work is festivals show films before they're made to the public. So festival will show a film before it's on Netflix, before it's in the normal theaters. So all of our films you couldn't watch anywhere else. So it would be the first place you would watch as a festival like ours. Yeah, they're mostly shorts. We have a very robust screening process, and this year we had some amazing judges, actual filmmakers. So I would like to say it's open to everyone, but someone with so there's a level of sort of like quality that we have to screen for. So I would love to say anybody with an iPhone can submit a film, and there have been people submitting films like that. But obviously, there's a certain level of quality that we want to accept because people are paying tickets. So, well, the films that we've accepted have been amazing, and again, some of them have been have gone on to be Oscar nominated. Some of them have gone on to be screened by Netflix and other streaming providers. So it's been great.
That's amazing. Today from the United Nations, that you came all the way. What is your message to the young people growing up here, in New York City who are Bengali origin?
Yeah, I think the biggest message for young people, and this is why I started BONY Scholars, because I don't think I had this sort of guidance. Is, I mean, really, like, there's nothing stopping you from getting into whatever industry you want to get into. I think that's super important. I just think it's really important just to be always active and not be complacent. I think Bangladeshis, we have these barriers related that are monetary, but I think organizations like Bengalis of New York, and there's so many others now that can help you get into certain industries. Finding mentors, guidance. Sometimes monetary help is super important. It's super important to be active and try to identify those tools and sources. That's super important. Just not to be complacent, just to be active and trying to go where you want to be.
Thank you for your guidance, for the Bengali community here. And thank you for joining us today. I'm Nishad Mirza from Turkey.